Hello and welcome to New Mexico Rising. My name is Dan. You know, each and every week, we try to bring you people from across the country to talk about cool things you could do right here in New Mexico. Hey, if you want to be part of the show, all you got to do is email me. That's newmexicorising@gmail.com, or follow us on social media. That is Facebook and Instagram. On this week's program, we're going to go on a nice adventure. Yes, like Lord of the Rings, we're going to start traveling. So it's time to find the best travel deals. All right here on New Mexico Rising. Just in time for healthcare open enrollment, a just-released annual study reveals that more than half of employees would consider looking for a new job for better health benefits. But joining us today is one of top financial pros in the nation. It's Winnie Sun. How are you, Winnie?
I'm amazing, Dan. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fabulous. All right, for those at home, you know, Winnie is known as the wealth whisperer. So you got to whisper some wealth in my ear for this this segment today. Can you start doing that for me?
I'm going to start.
Tell me about this new report. Why is picking healthcare plan key to kind of like helping your financial health overall?
Well, Dan, this is a big topic. You know, we're in open enrollment season, and we got to talk about and start off about inflation. I think we can all agree that we've felt the pinch of the rising cost of goods and services this year. We're talking costs such as food, clothing, gas, travel, even housing. Everything costs so much more. And if you've been following the news, you've read and experienced the year-to-year price hikes, and that certainly includes healthcare. So we need to talk about premiums and deductibles and how they've been on the rise, and even services covered by many health insurance plans. They've all gone up. So the 2023 AFLAC Workforce Report is here to help to show that employers have been impacted by this, and that includes impacting what businesses can offer their employees today too. So this year, even more important than ever, Dan, to take your time and be a really smart shopper.
So what are highlights of this year's study that you found?
Well, topping the list this year is employee retention. The AFLAC study showed that 53% of employees are at least somewhat likely to accept a position with lower pay if it includes better benefits. So the steady rise in benefit costs and concerns about rising costs are causing employers to remain cautious when it comes to balancing the cost of benefits, keeping employees happy, and more importantly than ever, retaining staff. It's key.
Is there one area of coverage employees are like most concerned with?
Well, Dan, we took a look at the survey, and the responses show that mental health and well-being are some of the top concerns among employees. In fact, employees want their employers to care about them, their well-being, and also provide resources to stay ahead of burnout. In fact, 57% of those surveyed said that they're currently experiencing at least moderate levels of burnout. And one of the biggest things is workplace stress. In fact, the overwhelming majority, at a whopping 83% of employees, report high levels of work stress, also facing other mental health challenges over the past year, including anxiety, depression, and even trouble sleeping.
So what areas are employees and employers not really seeing eye to eye?
Well, Dan, the quick answer is satisfaction and understanding. According to AFLAC's study, 78% of employers believe that their employees are highly satisfied with their benefits versus just 59% of employees who say they actually are. And 79% of employers think employees understand benefit costs well, when fewer than half actually say that they do. So there's definitely disconnect, which can have consequences, because when employees don't quite understand the details of their policies and healthcare costs, it's really challenging for them to prepare for those unexpected medical needs.
So are there solutions to help with insurance coverage?
Well, what we know is supplemental insurance, like plans AFLAC offers, can really help fulfill a need when you consider that half of those surveyed said they aren't able to afford more than $1,000 in out-of-pocket medical expenses. And 1/3 said that they're in worse financial position than they were just a year ago. And according to the survey, the majority of employees at 88% with supplemental insurance say that those benefits provide an added layer of financial security and peace of mind. Yet only 39% of employers said that they offer these sort of plans. So that's key. You definitely want to see if this option is available at work.
Winnie Sun, thanks for joining me this morning. Where can we go for more information? Follow you and your podcast and all that other good stuff.
Thank you so much, Dan. Well, to follow me on all of our social media, I'm at Winnie Sun. But you'll want to also check out everything that we talked about today in the report, the 2023-24 AFLAC Workforce Report. You want to jump on aflac.com/AWR.
Winnie Sun, thanks for joining me this morning.
Thank you so much, Dan. Hope you have a wonderful week.
You too. So today we're diving into a topic that impacts us all as we start to age. You know, our health and well-being. It's a statistic that may make you lace up your sneakers. You know, regular exercise could cut your risk of dementia by about 30%. So joining us today is Sims Corbett, a certified fitness dynamo and SilverSneakers instructor who knows a thing or two about keeping both the body and the mind in tip-top shape. With Medicare open enrollment upon us, there's no better time to start to get moving. Sims, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thanks for having me, Dan. I appreciate it.
So why is physical activity important as we age? I know it's a simple question, but it's a good reminder.
Yeah, there's so many reasons why we should be moving maybe a little bit more than we do. Certainly, it is good for our muscles, helps with muscular strength, helps with our cardiovascular fitness. It can help prevent falls. It can improve our quality of sleep, help improve our mood. And as you were talking about, it can help prevent dementia.
And what are some of the benefits of like exercise for cognitive help?
Yeah, well, what we think is happening is that when we take part in aerobic exercise, it improves or increases the blood flow to our brain. So more blood means more nutrients going to the brain. And that helps us in the short term and also helps us build up that cognitive reserve, that resiliency that we want later on.
So what are the benefits of a program or joining one like SilverSneakers?
Yeah, SilverSneakers has so many benefits. Of course, we have specially trained instructors who enjoy and are knowledgeable about working with older adults. We have a large network of locations, so over 22,000 locations that people have access to throughout the country. We have a lot of online opportunities. So we have our live fitness classes, which I encourage people to take a look at and try out, as well as other online opportunities for education. So, and we've got over 100 of those per week, including our live fitness classes. Lots of great stuff happening.
So why is the thinking about physical activity great right now because of the Medicare enrollment period?
Yeah, it is a perfect time to get going and to set yourself up for the new year. So taking a look at the options as far as your Medicare Advantage programs go, making sure that the one you choose has SilverSneakers as a benefit means that you get to start out the new year with access to all of those great opportunities I just listed and help keep your body and your brain in tip-top shape.
All right. Where can we find out more information and also find out if we are eligible?
Yeah, thanks for asking. You can go to getsilversneakers.com. You can check your eligibility. You can create an account. You can find out lots more good information about SilverSneakers. And of course, you can look for locations as well there.
Thanks for joining me this morning. You know, planning a memorable holiday begins with the right accommodation. Joining us to share the best Airbnb hacks to help your holiday travel dreams come true is Liz DeBold-Fusco from Airbnb. Welcome to the show, Liz. How are you?
I am good. Thanks so much for having me.
All right, to start things off, can you share some of the trendy destinations U.S. travelers are searching for this upcoming season?
Yeah, I think we're definitely in the thick of the season right now. That is for sure. If you're hearing that though, you're starting to panic, you haven't booked your holiday travel yet, don't worry. I just want to note that there are plenty of options still available and also plenty of options within any budget. I think it's also worth noting, one thing we're seeing right now is families can get an Airbnb with 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom for less than the price of 1 hotel room at a major chain. So again, a lot of affordable options out there wherever you're looking to go. Speaking of where you're looking to go, in terms of terms of trends, we're seeing a little bit of everything from the far-flung to more nearby getaways. Our top trending destination for the holidays for both families as well as for travelers in the U.S. from all walks of life is actually Tokyo, Japan, which is really interesting. Japan is about a year out from lifting their lockdown from the COVID-19 pandemic. And so, travelers are clearly looking to take advantage of that, whether it's either visiting Japan for the first time or getting to return for the first time in a really long time. Some other trending destinations include Quebec City, Canada, for maybe more skiing getaways, to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. On the other end of the spectrum, you get to go hang out in the sun. So that's a little taste of what we're seeing on the international side. And then in the U.S., the trends right now this time of year are really driven by college football. A lot of the destinations we're seeing are college football destinations like Ann Arbor, Michigan, or Tuscaloosa, Alabama, for people looking to check out a game in person. Again, that really drives trends in the U.S. this time of year.
So here's a little thing that I've always used. Are those search filters on Airbnb, ones with like a balcony, extra bedroom, nice kitchen, all that good stuff? How do people effectively use these search filters to kind of tailor their accommodation options?
Yeah, they are a great hack, again, for really tailoring your accommodations. When you go to search for a stay, you can put in your destination, you can put in your dates, but then you can also select any number of filters so that you are only seeing listings in your search that have those must-have amenities. So you mentioned there are a couple of new ones as well that I think are worth calling out because they're great for holiday travel planning. One of them is pet friendly, so you can just filter for stays that are pet friendly that will let you bring that furry companion with you. And then also king size beds, again, looking for listings that just have king size beds. But there are so many others, from cribs to gyms. You can really customize your search to find listings that meet your exact needs.
All right, pet friendly, perfect. And king size beds if you want to bring friends. All right. What are some lesser known or unique features at Airbnb that can enhance the holiday experience for like travelers searching for something that special?
Yeah, I'm going to mention my favorite one, and that is wish lists. They are a great way to keep track of the homes you love on Airbnb. The moment you find them, you don't even have to leave your search. So right after this, you can go set up a wish list for, called 2023 holiday travel. And as you're searching through stays, you can tap and save homes right to that wish list so that you can really have an easier time planning. And then we've actually introduced a couple of additional wish list features to make it even easier. So now you can even add notes to each home within your wish list, so you can remember why you love them in the first place. And then if you kind of go away from your wish list and you come back, you can put in your dates, and you'll be able to see homes on that wish list that are only the ones that are available during your selected dates. So again, really kind of hone in on the homes you love that are available when you need them. So again, another great hack for planning your holiday trip.
Liz DeBolfosco, thank you for joining me from Airbnb. Where can we go for more information?
Yep, you can go to airbnb.com.
Of course. Thanks for joining me this morning.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
As Medicare open enrollment season unfolds, the choices you make can have a significant impact on your healthcare costs, especially with rising prescription drug prices. Today, we have a leading voice in healthcare, Leslie Datch, founder and chair of Protect Our Care, to guide us through some of these choices. He has a rich background in both government and the private sector. Leslie also has a way to break down the must-knows about Medicare benefits coming in 2024, including the pivotal Inflation Reduction Act. Welcome to the show, Leslie.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
All right, can you tell us about the impact of rising prescription drug prices that is happening on seniors?
Far too many of our seniors are skipping doses, cutting pills in half because they simply can't afford them. They have to make choices between filling their refrigerator or filling their prescription. None of that should be happening. So this is exacting a huge financial toll on people and a huge emotional and health toll on people.
So how does the Inflation Reduction Act benefit patients this coming year?
If you're on Medicare, it's important to know that the benefits I'm going to describe, they just come with your Medicare. You don't have to fill out any special forms to get them, and some of them are already happening. So if you're a diabetic and you're on insulin, your insulin is now capped at $35 a month. If you're essential vaccines like the shingles vaccine are now free. Drug companies can no longer just raise prices faster than inflation because they want to. And Medicare finally has the power to negotiate for lower prices. All of this together is going to save our seniors between hundreds and thousands of dollars a year based on the prescriptions that they take.
So what can be done to further help protect some of these patients?
Yeah, one of the first message I have to patients is know that you have these benefits. So go ahead. If you thought you couldn't afford the shingle shot, go get it. Don't, if you're taking insulin, know that you can afford to keep taking it. That's going to make a big difference in just how people behave. We also have to stay vigilant because a lot of folks in Congress are actually trying to take these benefits away. So good to talk to them about it. And also, we want to work hard in order to get these benefits extended to people who get their insurance from somewhere else or don't have insurance at all. So those of us here in Washington still have our work cut out for us.
So where can people go for more information?
I think the first place people should go if they're on Medicare, and I am on Medicare, is the Medicare website. It's medicare.gov. It's very good. And it also has a great call center. So medicare.gov. If you're looking for more information about how to protect and extend these benefits, please go to our website, protectourcare.org.
Leslie, thanks for joining me this morning. The Biden administration's proposed ban on menthol cigarettes has sparked serious concerns about unintended consequences, especially its impact on the U.S. border security. So joining us is Job Dickinson, president of the Border Security Alliance, to discuss the ripple effects of such a ban and to explore some more effective alternatives. Welcome to the show, Job. How are you?
Good morning, Dan. Thanks for having me.
If implemented, how would a ban on menthol cigarettes kind of impact national security?
Well, Dan, a public health initiative is important to look at both the consequences that we want intended, but also the unintended consequences. And having a ban on a product that is necessary that people are still using, prohibition doesn't work. We've learned that creates black markets, that creates illicit trade. And those are a safety issue in law enforcement. They're unregulated. You have people, selling cigarettes out of the back of a trunk. They're not worried about what the ID is, how old the person is. You can have definite unintended consequences by creating a prohibition ban. And, that starts at the local level and then goes all the way up to national security, including our border.
And how do you think this ban would further empower criminal activity, especially some of the cartels?
So the Mexican cartels, they make money. That's what they do. And they will try to make money using whatever product they can get across the border. They started with marijuana, cocaine, fentanyl, human trafficking. They don't care the impacts it has to our society, to humans. They want to make money. So giving them another product is just one more way that, we give them the opportunity to make more money. And that strengthens cartels. I think that weakens our southern border and really puts stress on our local law enforcement, our sheriffs, our border patrol to deal with, what can come across that border.
So what other methods could be used to encourage people to stop smoking?
Well, if this ban went through on menthol cigarettes, it would be a cost of about $15 million in our tax revenue. And taking that money away from our tax revenue, what people don't understand sometimes is the taxes on cigarettes go to help people stop smoking. Tobacco harm reduction. There's other, just like nicotine gum, you step down trying to get yourself to stop using tobacco. That comes into play. Also, education of our high-risk individuals. Having education programs in place at our local schools for our elementary, junior high to stop them from smoking.
All right. So, what can Americans do to stop the ban on menthol cigarettes then?
If you wanted to stop the ban, and again, this is the Biden administration just with a pen stroke putting this in place, I think it's important to contact your congressional representative, contact the FDA, and contact the White House and let them know, this is not the way to go to stop one little segment of a product when there's so many other things that we could be focused on in law enforcement for border security. Contacting those representatives and just voicing your opinion that this is not the right way to go.
All right, Joe, where can we go for more information and learn about this stuff to make our own decisions on it?
You could go to our website. That's www.bsa-us.org. Or go to the FDA website to look at what they're proposing in this ban.
Job Dickinson, thanks for joining me this morning, man. Did you know that if an earthquake or flood strikes, your insurance policy may not cover the damage to your property unless you have extra insurance? So preparing for a natural disaster includes making plans to like secure your finances too. So here to help consumers understand and prepare for the risks is one of the nation's leading insurance regulators, Clora Lindy Myers. Lindy Myers is the president of the National Association of Insurance Commissioners, also known as the NAIC. And the NAIC is composed of the insurance commissioners representing every state who are tasked with regulating and managing the insurance industry. Welcome to the show, Clora Lindy Myers. Welcome back to the show. I think I've had you on the show before, and let's talk insurance. It's very important for all of us.
Thank you for having me, Dan.
No worries. Why do you think insurance for natural disasters is important?
Because it's extremely important because it's not covered by your homeowner's insurance. You need to have additional insurance that would cover that specific peril, flood or wildfires or earthquakes. So you want to make sure that you are properly covered for those natural disasters. So you want to check with your insurance the company to make sure that every year that you have the proper coverages that you need on your home and businesses.
Like outside of Alaska, Hawaii, maybe California, some parts of the West Coast, I know we get a lot of wildfires in New Mexico, but why should people living in other areas of the country be like concerned about earthquakes?
Well, you should be concerned about earthquakes because any of these perils, and especially earthquakes, can happen no matter where you live. So you want to make sure that you're properly prepared and properly covered.
And if a disaster happens, who pays for the damage?
You pay for the damage, Dan. The issues surrounding or with insurance is the fact that you're doing that to have a bit of financial security, and that's why you invest in these policies, insurance policies, and particularly the riders that go on to those homeowner policies, which covers flood, earthquakes, and the like. Because if something were to happen, if there's an earthquake, you are the ones that's responsible for the damage or loss. And so you want to make sure that you have some assistance, and your assistance, of course, would come in the form of an insurance policy.
So what advice do you have for people that believe that they can't really afford additional insurance?
You can't afford insurance. You want to make sure that you have a candid conversation with your insurance agent, depending on your particular area, who will add gap coverages, which is relatively inexpensive. And in the end, it could stop a lot of these headaches that you would have because a person may have failed to get the proper coverage. So you can't afford additional insurance because you want to make sure that you protect your property.
So what's being done to help raise awareness about earthquakes and climate-related disasters?
Well, we are doing as many public service announcements as we can in order to make sure that people understand. We are hosting, the NAIC and the Missouri Department of Commerce and Insurance is hosting an earthquake summit on the 14th of November in St. Louis. And so we are making sure that government officials, SEMA managers, which are state emergency management agencies, are involved, as well as consumers, as well as insurance companies, agents, brokers. All of us are getting into an area trying to make sure that we are helping the consumer as best we can to avoid any of these issues which would be related to any of these specified perils.
So where can consumers find help with some of these insurance problems?
I'm glad you asked me that, Dan. You can find that on the NAIC.org website or go to your local insurance department's website, talk to your agent or broker. We're all here to help you figure out your insurance needs going forward. So please don't hesitate to look at the NAIC.org website for more information.
Clora Lindy Myers, thanks for joining me this morning. Did you know small business employs about half of America's workforce and makes up a staggering 44% of our GDP? Yet navigating the world of entrepreneurship is no small feat. In fact, 20% of small businesses don't even see their first anniversary. So how do you beat the odds? Well, here to help your small business to go from startup to success, we have Brian Alster, General Manager of North America Finance and Risk Solutions at Dun & Bradstreet, here to kind of give you the ultimate toolkit for planning and launching and growing your small business. Welcome to the show, Brian. How are you, bud?
Great. Thank you, Dan. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. All right, so do I need to register my business?
Registering for your business is always a great first step. Being able to register your business kind of puts your small business on the map. It gives you credibility and helps give confidence to customers that you're a real business, and same confidence to suppliers who want to make sure that they're going to get paid for their goods and services they give you. So registering is a really good first step. Small Business Administration, the SBA, has a really good resource, for learning more about the registration process. It's easy, and with a few steps, you can get started.
So how do I secure funding or find access to credit?
It's really good, especially in this high interest rate environment. It's really important for small businesses to try and keep costs down. The best way to do that is to start to get access to credit and capital. The challenge is, how do you do that? The first step is to establish your business through a registration process, but also to get a DUNS number from Dun & Bradstreet, and that's how D&B can help. It's a free and easy process. You can go online to www.dnb.com, click on the DUNS number, a few easy steps, you're on your way. What does a DUNS number help you do? It gives you access to your business profile, and it starts to help build that financial profile for you as a small business owner. Companies are going to look to that financial health to get an understanding of whether or not that small business has good, strong financial health and has the ability to repay their debts. Getting access to capital is really important, whether it be for day-to-day purchases using a small business credit card, or for larger purchases, getting access to financing through a line of credit or a commercial loan. Being able to have predictable small business monthly payments is really important as small businesses are trying to ramp up their business. You mentioned about 20% of those small businesses will fail in the first year. That number grows to over 50% after 5 years. So it's really important early on to establish that credibility, build that credit profile, and get access to that credit early on to minimize the amount of debt that you have to pay out each month.
So how can data and analytics help me with my business and relationships with suppliers and some of these vendors?
It's a really good question, Dan. Data and analytics can help small businesses in a multitude of ways. Think about every big question that they need to ask themselves to continue to find that success. Am I targeting the right customers? Are my goods and services meeting the needs of the customers? How am I doing versus my competitors? Am I getting the best costs from my suppliers? All of these questions can be answered by both data that they can collect on themselves as small businesses, as well as data that they can get from data providers such as Dun & Bradstreet to help them identify key needs, identify great targets for where they want to grow their business, and how they can learn to adapt in an agile business environment.
Well, Brian, thanks for joining me this morning. Where can we go for more information and also get our business registered again?
Yes, go to www.dnb.com. We have an entire section devoted to small businesses with how to build a business plan, how to grow your business, and how to navigate through those choppy waters that every business will ultimately face.
Brian Alster, thanks for joining me this morning, my friend. And that is it for New Mexico Rising. I want to thank each and every one of you for hanging out with me this morning. If you want to follow us on social media, we're on Instagram and Facebook. We're going to be doing some giveaways. And that is it for the show. See you next week. That was New Mexico Rising.